Hello everybody and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion. I am Jake. Tonight I am joined by Carmine. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Not bad. I'm excited. We are at Indy for the season finale of the second season of the NASCAR Gen7s. Jake Weaver is the defending winner of this race. But coming into tonight, Jack Durham is on top. Nick Leo is second, only 4 points behind with one drop we calculated. Jake Weaver third, John Novak is in fourth, Chris White fifth, Keith Schooling sixth, Jason Weaver seventh, Scott Harrah eighth, Scott Chin ninth, Joseph David 10th, Aaron Jenkins 11th, Steve Angie 12th, Juan Escamilla 13th, Robert Gamble 14th, McEvely 15th, Nick Biddy is 16th, Brian Messer 17th, Dave Fuge Jr. is 18th. Then we have Brandon Curtis 19th, Schultz is 20th, Luna 21st, Tony Martin, Jake Bryan, Daryl Klotz, Ollie Walker, who has been here for one race this season, and it was a victory at Watkins Glen. Carson Pittman, Tony Martin, David Salters 28th. But inside row number one, on pole we have Dave Fuge and Jack Durham. Nick Leo and Jake Weaver make up row number two. Chris White and Rafael Sequeira is in row 6. Keith Schooling and John Novak. Row 4, that was not row 6, that was row 3. Ron Escamilla, Brian Messer, the final row. This truck is rolling and the cars are moving. You ever been to a NASCAR race?
I am planning on going very soon. I need to go. I need to experience that in real life.
it's something else.
You see, my parents, they got their season passes to the Daytona. They've had it since 2017, and every year they're like, there's nothing like it.
They go every year, really?
Yes, sir.
It's gotta
they've
be,
been to the New Hampshire one a few times too. My uncle actually gets tickets to there all the time.
We, Jason and I consider our home track New Hampshire, even though the Glen is where, near us too, but
yes,
we consider New Hampshire.
I'd like to get out to a Glen race. Anything. Grand Touring, NASCAR, I'd be into anything. I think that'd be cool.
I really want to check out the IMSA races there. There was an onboard shot back at Nick Leo, and the front of that Chevy looks mean. Cars are going to be coming around the final set of corners, getting ready to take the green. Fast pace laps around this track.
I've noticed that. I'm like, oh, they're speeding up, and then I keep noticing the pace vehicle still in front. Oh, there he goes.
I think it's 80 mile an hour pace laps here. Flagman's waving the flag. We're going green for the final race of the season. Looks like Fuge did not get the jump on Durham that he wanted, or would have liked rather. Leo and Weaver might be settling in here shortly. They do. All 4 cars get settled in. The battle for 5th is still happening as well. The battle for 2nd is Leo's going to try to make a move on the inside of Dave Fuge here. It's going to look like Jack Durham is going to lead lap 1. Mostly everybody is settled in. Leo 2nd, Fuge 3rd, Weaver 4th, Brian Messer is up to 5th, as well as Novak is up to 6th. I remember those two started in the back. Brian Messer there in the 51 is all over the back bumper of 27 of Weaver going down that stretch. You're into iRacing a little bit, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am. I was actually getting very into this race. It's a very clean race. It was a beautiful start.
Yeah. This group of guys is usually quite good.
I was gonna say, I noticed it's only 10 running tonight, but very 10 evenly matched. It's looking to be.
So far, yeah. Just have to wait till about probably 10, maybe 15 laps of this track before track changes and tire fall off comes into play, I think.
Yep. Right now the cars are just settling into place, and it seems like everybody's finding their groove very well.
Yeah, it's one of Brian Messer's trying to make a move on Jake Weaver. This is for 4th position. We're going to have to keep an eye on Nick Leo and Jack Durham tonight. They are both fighting for the championship lead. I believe Jake Weaver has 3rd place locked up, but we'll have to wait and see after the track weeks are calculated at the end of the race.
I was going to say, it is racing. Anything can happen.
Fuse and Leo are going to go back at it here soon. In the background, I let Novak also got around Weaver.
So for Durham and Leo, this is it, right? This is the season finale. This is for all the marbles.
This is it, yes.
Oof, this is a battle for them. I couldn't imagine the pressure those drivers are under. I mean, I can, kinda, because as you've asked before, I tried dipping my toes into the NASCAR world of iRacing. I'm much better on the dirt. We'll leave it at that.
Much better on the dirt. You would think the dirt is more difficult.
I don't know what to say. I'm much more comfortable going sideways.
Now we talking third ovals?
We're
dirt
talking
rally?
anything on dirt. If we're in the iRacing world, I will put all my money on any dirt track over any road track for me. Any driving style, and that's for me to perform the best that I can. I am much more comfortable on the dirt.
Yeah, everybody has their own disciplines, because mine is the asphalt ovals.
Yes, you did. I've raced a few times in this. A lot of our fans may not know, but I was usually in the back, and then I was first to second of causing that little yellow flag to come out. But I tried, I dipped my toes in it, and I can at least say I tried and gave it my all. You guys are some good drivers out here.
I like to dip my toes in the asphalt road as well. I'm not good at that. I can't even say I'm good at the asphalt ovals, but it's my strongest license class. I'll say that.
Yes, yep.
Chris White might be struggling to keep pace with the majority of the pack here. Teammate of Jake Weaver.
Doing a good job at holding Leo back to 1 second, but he's floating right around that second mark.
Yeah, Durham knows how to maintain a gap. He'll match the cars behind him. Its pace. He knows how to match the pace and maintain the gap and not burn up his own stuff.
He looks like he is holding it together very well.
And then there's other times where he just goes and puts a 20-second gap on the rest of the field. He's got a lot of skill.
It's the pressure. So, how they always say, it's hard to handle stuff under pressure, but some people are built, they perform better under pressure.
Oh, Messer getting a little slideways coming out of that corner there. I think the battle for second has calmed down, but the battle for third might be picking up. Because here comes Mr. Brian Messer. If I'm Brian here, I don't know. Do I sit right behind Dave and try to force a mistake out of him? Maybe save a little fuel, a little bit of tire, or do I try to catch up to Durham?
I don't know. This early in the race, we're only 9, almost 10 laps in. Out of 60, I'd sit and wait right now. I'd hold nice, comfortable with his pace. I'd try to conserve what I can. Now again, too, that's just the way I would try to do. I would try to feel out the way he's driving. I wouldn't push hard. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to cause a mistake this early in the race because we don't want the caution to come out yet or any chance to get in and change our tires too soon.
Looks like he's going to try to make a move here, and he may have looked behind him and seen this group of 3 catching the both of them, so... I mean, if Fuge is... I'm not saying he is, but if Fuge is slowing him up that much, he might want to think about forcing an issue and making a pass.
I was going to say, he keeps poking his nose down in the corner. He's letting him know he's there.
And Novak and Weaver are right there now. Weaver looks like he got a heck of a run coming out of the corner there.
He was wasting no time.
Make a clean pass on Novak. And that is Escamilla shoving his nose in Novak's mirror now too.
I don't know if Novak got a little loose coming off the corner or something, but he seemed to drop back a little bit there, no?
That entry, he would entered a little high for that corner there, but I didn't see. He could have made a mistake, missed the corner, or yeah, got a little bit sideways.
Because I mean, Weaver and Novak were coming up nice tight together, and then for a second there, it kind of looked like Novak fell back a little bit. But see, he's catching right back up now.
Yeah, Messer and Weaver both got a little bit of a wiggle there as they were trying to get around the 4 of Fuge.
Once you get that draft, though,
yeah, this group
like
if this group of 5 cars settles in, they'll be able to gain on Leo and Durham, I think, if they just work together and form a train.
This early in the race, yeah, like I said, you just kind of hold out and conserve what you can, like you said, get a nice line going, gain your speed as you go.
Brian's going defensive there as Novak's making a move on Fuge. Kind of looks like Fuge is going backwards. And Weaver got around Messer at the same time Novak got around Fuge. Now Escamilla is looking to make a move. Ooh!
Ooh, someone in the pit?
That was Messer.
You got Messer in the pit.
I don't know if that's by accident, or if he came off the corner sideways, or if this is a planned stop.
I don't see this being a planned stop.
Yeah, it might be a little... Well... No.
Unless he got bumped around a little bit, caught a little damage we didn't see.
He could have, but he could be trying to make it a 2-stop race, because this is almost a third of the... Well, no, it's not. Not even. 20 laps would be a third. You could short pit and long pit, maybe. Unless you just needed car adjustments and it wasn't drivable. Well, Durham has now put a 1.5 second lead on Leo.
Oh, we have 2 in the pit. No, never mind. I misread that. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're reading the ticker?
Well, I seen that Messer was still in the pit, but he was ahead of
Sakura?
Yes, and then as I said that they switched positions there, so.
This Beavers put a gap on Novak and Escamilla. Because the 3 of them were running tight to get. Well, actually, the 5 of them, Messer and Fuge included, but the 3 of them guys were running tight together, and now a bit of a gap. Have to keep an eye on the gap between Weaver and Leo. Right now, they're about 2 seconds apart. Trying to watch Novak here. If he needs to get a little bit closer down to the inside line, but it's scary down there because if you go below that yellow line and touch those white bricks, the car is upset and it will go around on you quite quickly. So you want to get as close as you can without going too far.
I will say, at these speeds, with these temperatures, these cars do get very temperamental. You gotta drive them, but you also have to be tender with them.
Yes, we've discussed that in the past. It's kind of a driver's car now. You can't just, you got to take care of it. You almost can't drive it to its full potential, otherwise you'll be hurting later.
I will say, when they first came out with this new gen style, I was skeptical. I was like, all right, that's a little different stuff, but after driving, watching a few races, they, like you said, they're more of a driver's vehicle now. It's a beast, but it's a very tameable beast if you can hold your composure, and like we were discussing, you drive the car, but you gotta listen to what it's telling you.
Right. And it's when they first came out and the packages were all screwed up, they were not very exciting. You put your foot down and go. But now, even before, when you started playing with the setups, there's a little...
We had someone drop below the line there.
Yeah, it looked like he had to catch himself a little bit there, or just let schooling go. But like Las Vegas, for example, you could just flat foot Las Vegas until you started playing with the setups. And then you couldn't. You started making the car faster and faster and faster. Then you really had to slow down for the corners. And
I don't mean to cut you off, Jake, but did I just read that correctly? Did I see that Messer is out?
Let's see it come across. It does say Messer is out.
I did? Okay.
It could be a time zone thing for him.
Okay.
He is over in Japan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is very early in the morning for him.
That's unfortunate. He was doing very well. He was staying right together in that 5-pack.
Yeah, and he's a family man too, so if something comes up, trouble with Fuge.
4.
He's going to bring out the first caution of the day. His car looks clean, so looks like he avoided any wall contact. And actually, I think he was just in the pits, if I was looking at the ticker right. There is a pretty nasty bump at the exit of pit lane here, so I'm wondering if that could have been the culprit. I know, I've taken myself out on it a few times in races or practices.
Just getting excited to get back out there and get into it. And
yep, exactly.
Driving the car a little too hard, not listening.
I don't even, it's too late. You hit it, there's no...
Yeah, it's too late at that point.
It's too late.
Seems he came right back out on the track, though. He must not have suffered any damage.
No, looked like a pretty clean car.
Like you were saying with that bump, that was right at the end of pit road, wasn't it?
It looked like it, yeah.
Yeah, so like you're saying, he could have came out and hit it, and as he came, car got away from him, came up on the track.
Because I believe where we are, that would have been a good place to stop if he was doing a two-stop strategy, because we are about a third of the way through this race. And like I had assumed, everybody is coming down pit road for service.
How do you got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars coming in?
7 coming in. Lap down cars.
Oh my goodness, there's 8 there, sir. There is 8 there. We should just stop with our maths.
Our
pretty
cars
good at hiding
down are not allowed to come down pit lane right now, and we think Fuse just made his stop. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Leo had to back up a little. You notice that?
I didn't. I was looking at who came out first there, and it looks like the Weepers pit crew is making pretty good time in there. Oh, I guess I was wrong.
Durham's going to lead the race for second. That was close. And Novak is going to come out fourth. The race for second was awful close, and the ticker showing Weaver gained the spot.
I was going to say, we didn't have a very good angle looking, but technology doesn't lie at this point.
No.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't lie, because it has.
Yeah, it lies a lot sometimes. A lot sometimes. If that works, I don't know if that works, but you know. Through our first stint of green flag laps, Durham has maintained his lead. Weaver has picked up a spot in the pits. Leo third, Novak fourth, Escamilla fifth, Chris White sixth, Schooling is up into seventh, Hughes is eighth, Sakura down in ninth, Messer early retired.
Did I see Novak just dropped a few? Oh, he pitted. Okay.
Maybe topping off fuel.
Kind of a late pit, if I should say so. I mean, you are the professional here.
We'll have to see, because he did pit with everybody else, so he's either topping off fuel or serving a penalty.
Oh, okay.
In the past, he has stopped a second time on races that would be close, just to top off on fuel, because I think these guys can go somewhere around 35 to maybe 40 laps if they save a lot. 40's definitely pushing it. So somewhere around 35 to 38 laps, I think these guys can go on a tank of fuel. Here's what happened to Fuge. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
There's that
he
bump.
hit that bump. Oh yeah, he was ready to go. Watch, you'll see his car bounce. There it was.
Yep. Doesn't take much.
No, just like you said, he was eager to get back out there, and he just caught that bump just wrong.
Cars are racked back up, and it looks like we are getting ready to go back green here. Probably in the 27. Shift, I would assume.
See, that was something I was wondering too with the new Gen 7 vehicles they got out. Oh, here comes the green flag.
We are back to racing.
But with these new Gen 7, that had to be a big change for some drivers going from the H pattern shifter to a sequential setup. Do you ever think they've been coming out thinking they're going to shoot the gate from second to third and hit it up?
Robin.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
That is absolutely okay. This is racing. Stuff happens very fast.
fighting for first place here.
Yes, they are.
Leo wants in on some of this action. I think Escamilla might join in party too, but Durham is going to take the spot back. Had to fight for it that time, but he got it. You were saying H pattern versus sequential?
Yeah, I was just wondering. I'm thinking, some of these, older drivers that have been around a hot minute, they go from the H pattern to the sequential. They've had the money shift and hit it the wrong way, thinking they're shifting up, thinking H pattern and they actually shift down. And
Oh, I'm sure it's been made once, at least.
I mean, obviously, besides learning how to drive a completely new style vehicle, I have a feeling that was one of the higher things that took people a minute to get used to. Because they added another gear as well, too, correct?
Yes, these cars have 5 versus the usual 4.
Which I'm sure probably plays an effect into, like you were just talking about, the gas that these guys can run. You just said, 38 miles that they're, pushing the fuel. But, I mean, if you think about it, how long is this track?
2 miles, I think? Two. Let me look. I'll have that answer for you in a second.
Well, I mean, still, even if it was, 2 miles, that's... You figure 40 will round up. We'll say they're running 80 miles at 8,000, 9,000 RPMs. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's quite a bit of fuel that they're prolonging, you know what I mean?
And it's a 2.5 mile track, so they're doing about 130 miles? No, more than that. Anyways, 2.5 mile track.
But still, that's... I'll have to look up some of them numbers, but from the last generation of this and see what, because obviously, even if you do 80 to 100 miles, people are like, that's not very good gas mile. Just like, yeah, but they're running 3-4 times harder than your normal car.
It's 150 miles. It's 150 miles to run it today.
Outrageous. Leo keeps poking his nose down there on Weaver, letting him know he's there.
Yeah, we're on board with Escamilla. Watching this battle. And there's your RPMs you were talking about. You hear those cars screaming.
But I mean, it does sound beautiful.
They are nice sounding cars. The Gen 4 has to be my favorite, I think.
I mean, I was talking about the pressure that Durham and Leo, you know, being this is right. It was Leo and Durham that were fighting for all the marbles.
Yep.
All right, so I was thinking of the pressure they were under, but every single driver out here is pushing as hard as they can, inches away from the car next to them, not knowing anything that driver could do.
Well, Escamilla has a win this year, so he's probably pushing to get his second, and Weaver doesn't have one.
Oh.
He has not won a race this season.
So Weaver's real. He's pushing. He's going to push very hard tonight.
I'm sure he is.
You better be careful on that fuel, because what? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, especially being the defending winner of this race last season, so.
Well, like, from what I'm calculating, we're coming up on the halfway mark. I'm assuming if things stay well, there'll be one more pit. Like you said, this is going to be a battle of fuel consumption. Like, some of these drivers with the motivation, you know, Leo pushing for the marbles, Jake pushing for the single win. The fuel. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about.
And right now with Durham leading, and with the gap that he's leading with, he's probably consuming more than Leo Weaver and Escamilla are right now.
Very true. Durham is taking quite the lead over them.
Now I know Leo is leading this pack of 3, but he might be close enough to save a little bit by staying in Jack's draft.
That's another thing too. The draft that comes off these vehicles is a lot, because the aerodynamics are different from the last generation too. So at these speeds, them drafts are lasting a lot longer. So you got a chance to catch that tail and hopefully make something happen.
Yeah, and with these cars in the new rear diffuser that they have, before, like the Gen 6s, you wanted no air getting underneath the car. You wanted it all to go over the top. And now with the way these rear diffusers work, you have to have some air to go underneath the car. Otherwise you won't get the downforce that
you won't have any rear, yes. And I will say that, like you were mentioning, setting up the tunes and stuff like that, the setups vary. They vary a lot. I mean, what works for one driver ain't going to work with the other. And I mean, they could be decimals off in the setup. And when I was dipping my toes in this very, very cold water of mine, I found that to be one of my biggest problems. I couldn't figure out the rear diffuser. It was so hard to get the tail end of that car to just stick and stay where I wanted it to.
There's a fine balance there. Too low and it doesn't turn, and too high it doesn't turn.
All I know is I feel very comfortable going sideways, but not at 180 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Sometimes that got a little scary, and you come off that steering wheel white knuckled. Even the next day, you still got your white knuckles.
I think right now, Weaver and Escamilla are just chilling. I think they're letting Leo pull him along.
Yes, sir. I was.
Well,
see, it's hard to tell, because this whole time Escamilla's been staying back. You know, he's been holding the line right behind him, but every now and then he pokes his nose in there like, hey, just want to let you know I'm still here.
Man, it almost looked like Leo just pulled over there. for Weaver. Well, maybe Leo's crew is telling them you might want to swap spots. You're
Push
just to
yourself back
save a little fuel.
Yes, sir. Let the car in front of you do some work for now.
Yeah.
He's got more than enough time to make something happen. I've seen races come right down to the last lap.
Oh yeah, I've seen leaders run out of fuel.
Oh, don't say that. We're in a race of fuel consumption right now. It's like when you're in a nice hot summer day and you're going out on the boat. You don't mention the R word.
Yeah.
If you say that RAIN, the weather can't spell, so you can do that.
Right.
And you can't do it. I'm gonna knock on wood. There we go. I'm not superstitious, but you never know. We're gonna hope and pray for these drivers.
Every time I see this car, I love how the red rims just pop.
It does make it stand out.
You've ever been to Indy?
I think yes, last season I think I raced here with you guys.
I just mean in general.
Oh, good. No, sir. No. I've been to like local dirt tracks, my friend.
Not even with travel?
No. See, that's the problem. When I was traveling the roads, I was working. Life of that over-the-road driver. See a lot of cool things, but you don't get to check them out.
No.
Got to get to that destination. That ETA is a personal challenge.
Weaver and Escamilla are pulling away from Leo now.
I'm hoping Leo isn't running into some engine troubles.
That would not be good for him.
He still seems to be pushing pretty decent, but these two are just, like you were saying earlier, teamwork, and they're working up here on Durham.
They might be. We'll have to watch that gap.
I got, was it 3-2 right now?
But, Escamilla is Durham's teammate.
Oh. Well, we were saying, let's go, time to move. That is a awfully big lead that Durham's pulling there. He's, I don't know if anyone told him about the fuel consumption race. That's a lot of work without being out there. And I mean, he is in clean air, but he's got nobody pulling him, nothing.
True. He might be, who knows what these drivers are thinking for strategy. Durham might try to push as hard as he can, stop and get a splash of fuel, and come back out.
Oh, yes, yep.
Open up a large gap and do that. Whoa.
That's like I was. Whoa, Weaver coming off a little squirrely there. He didn't seem to lose too much, though. He's still pushing hard on the bumper. But again, too, like I was saying earlier, some people can't perform under pressure. Some perform better. Maybe like you said, he wants to pull out, get that splash of fuel, and that's definitely going to put the pressure on for that lead.
Yeah, because really all he has to worry about is Leo.
Yes, as long as he doesn't finish more than 2 places, or a place or 2 below Leo, he should be okay, but this is a season finale. Everybody's going for it all.
Yeah, and that's with only one drop we calculated too. After this, we can't calculate the second drop week until this race is over with.
Oh, okay.
So that points gap may get wider or it may get smaller. But
I'll
with
tell you
as
this,
many
Durham better
wins,
hope it doesn't get smaller. He ain't got much room to play with.
no, with as many wins as Durham has this season, I think he's got a pretty good cushion. There's Fuge.
I will say this though, it does seem like all of the drivers have found their, we'll say their home, and they've all settled in pretty well, and it looks like they're all staying right together. But we got 22 laps to go. Some magic's gonna start happening. I say in the last 15 laps is when we'll see all the action. People start pushing real hard.
Yeah, there's like two
we got a
cars
move
that
going
are
on
together.
here.
Part of me is wondering if Leo is starting to say if Durham is in pits.
Oh,
where he
I think
goes.
he's I think here's that splash you were talking about with a third left to the race. Let's see what he can do.
Now he can put a full fuel tank in his car right now and push as hard as he has to get all that time back. And if nobody else pits, everybody else has to save, and he doesn't. He can just go.
He can run. Yes, yes. Now, too, depending on how well his pit is, he could also, if he calculates it correctly, he could run just enough fuel to help him get through the race pushing, but also hold as little weight as possible.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
You figure if he could save, 10 gallons, that's 80 pounds. Or, well, I'm just throwing it out for easy math.
The issue with
that
that
makes
is
a big difference.
he doesn't know where he's going to be on the track when he comes out. He could be all by himself and conserve a lot more fuel.
That is true, see? But you can't count your eggs until they hatch, correct?
Correct. Durham is back out on track. And he has to be about 2 seconds faster than Escamilla.
Is that who we're on
Each
board
lap.
with right now?
This is Fuge.
Fuge, okay. Sounded like he had a little shift there.
It sounds like he is shifting, yeah. And a scrape of the wall.
That's okay. He just had to correct the paint on that side. Shave a little weight off. Told you, it's all about fuel saving.
Yeah, that's what the 27's doing.
Okay, okay.
So
It's a different strategy than I've seen.
riding on board with the 27, it seems he plans on trying to go all the way. And this is Escamilla.
Some of these gentlemen are living life on the edge. They are pushing these cars.
And Escamilla hasn't pit yet. He's pitted on lap 20 during that first caution that we had. Like I was saying, these guys can get 35 to 38 laps
So
on a full fuel run, so
they do it right. They only need one stop. And I believe that's what Durham is. He bet all of it on that.
27 is saving big time.
Well, that's actually pretty smart. Pressing in the
Maybe.
clutch, letting the RPMs drop. I mean, the car's automatically going to start slowing down. So as long as it's done correctly, he can do that without really wasting much time and be able to hold himself up there.
You do end up losing more time.
Well, yeah, it's over, but I'm sure he won't push the whole race like that. Or he might. You never know.
He might have to. You're saying 35 to 38 laps, and at lap 20, that's 40 laps of racing left. That's a lot of saving.
Ooh.
You got to find 2 laps of fuel from somewhere. Chris.
Oh. Oh, what do we got here?
Chris
Is that
White.
the bump again?
No, that's entry. That's pit entry.
Oh. Kind of looked like the rear end just came around on him there.
A little hard on the brakes, I think. Now, we are using the longer pit lane this race. So you come off the corner and you got to get the car stopped. It's a little bit more difficult the way that this pit lane is set up. Compared to the traditional NASCAR pit lane setup.
Well, also to it being longer, that's really building on your edge coming out. You're really trying to get back out there, and that bump at the end, I think they planned that. They know. Throws a little excitement out there.
Yeah. Sometimes the admins know what they're doing, and sometimes they screw with people.
I'll tell you what, though. I will, in 2023, I promise I'm going to get myself out there to a race, a real race. I want to feel it.
Oh, you feel it. You smell it. You feel it. It's a good time.
I'd really like to be able to hook up the camper and be right down there in the infield. I don't know what it takes to do that, but...
Infields usually have a waiting list.
I mean, I haven't been in 30 years. What's another couple years, you know what I mean?
I would just go and get, like, it's still an on-track campsite, but it's just not in the infield, you know?
Yeah. Can you see the track from the on-track campsite, or is that like outside and then you just go in and get your seats?
Yeah, it depends on where you are.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm okay with either. I'm a big outdoorsman. I enjoy camping.
I like to camp myself. $15 to go. Already.
Down to the last 15 here. This is what I call. I said this is when you're going to start seeing people making their big moves. Weaver's really closed the gap there.
On Escamilla, it's actually, I think Escamilla is... Yeah, actually, because it was open and now it's closed down a little bit. I wonder if Escamilla is going into saving mode as well. If that's the case, we'll have to see if these guys can save enough and keep pace to prevent Durham from coming back up.
See, and it's so hard for us because we're trying to get into the minds of these drivers, and it's during the race their minds are everywhere but focused on one thing all at once. It's impossible for one of us to get into their minds to understand what they're actually trying to do.
Durham has gained 10 seconds in the past 5 laps on the leaders. So he is not holding back.
No, he is playing your plan out exactly like you said. He ain't got to worry about fuel.
Alright, these are stop times. Escamilla had a 16-second pit stop time. And he is 8 spots up for the day. Weaver is up 2. Novak is up 5. Weaver and Escamilla had some long stops. So did Leo with a 16.4. I think that's because he had to back up. And you have Durham and White with a 14.8 and a 14.3. Speedy pit stops. Durham's second stop was a 14.7, and this is when they stopped.
No, I don't mean to cut you off here, Jake. I believe you said Novak is up 5. I'm showing 3 on my screen.
I'm sorry, 3. Yeah, he's up 3.
Okay, like I said, not to.
He's in 5th, so I may have.
I do believe you did, but like I said, I don't want to confuse anybody because it's very easily for me to get confused. So I gotta make sure I'm on point.
Now, ooh, that's Fuge hitting the wall there. So, going by that tracker though, as of right now, Escamilla, Weaver, Leo, and Schooling are all on a one-stop strategy. Everybody else has stopped twice.
Very brave of them drivers. Very brave. They are pushing these cars to the limits with that fuel. I mean, with our wonderful math skills that we did, our teachers would be so proud.
Oh yeah, gloriously proud.
It is possible to do a full, the full 60 laps on one stop. But that's absolutely possible.
It is, for sure. It's just when they stopped. That caution at 20 laps was right
bit...
on the cut and edge. But
really
it makes it interesting.
Very true. That comes down again to the driver listening to the vehicle, knowing what it wants.
And Weaver has cut his time down to Escamilla back down to 1.4 seconds. And Durham is down to 25 seconds. He is coming fast.
He's not wasting any time after making that late pit.
And there he is.
Man on a mission. Like we were saying earlier, he doesn't have to place first. His main battle tonight, I feel, is with Leo.
Yeah.
Them two drivers are pushing for everything. And I will say I've had a chance to, speak with a few of these drivers and get to know a couple of them, and then just the community that's been built out of these guys. Winning, honestly, is a lot to them. It really gives them something to push forward to for next year and everything.
Yeah. Oh, problems with Fuge again.
What's going on there? Is that the second time he's done that?
This is the second car to do it there.
Second car, correct, yes. I wonder what is going on there.
It's just, you got to come off that corner and you got to get the car stopped. I'm sure he broke something when he hit the wall.
He was coming in pretty good.
That was Escamilla coming down pit lane ahead of him, who was our leader. So Escamilla...
Oh, Fuge is out.
Could not make that on fuel. Which promotes the 27 to Weaver in the first place, Leo up in the second.
I see that Durham has moved into fourth place, though.
Durham has moved into fourth place, and now he is only 10 seconds behind Leo.
I'm telling you, I'm interested to see what goes on between them. We got 8 seconds.
8 laps.
You're absolutely correct. We had 8 seconds until you fixed my mistake.
Oh. And Novak's gap is getting smaller on the leader as well.
I know. I'm just watching the ticker up there, and Durham's time is just... I think his stopwatch is broken. It's supposed to count up, and it's counting down. Oh, I hear the 27 is still on its fuel-saving binge. Pushing that clutch and playing it right. See if that method plays out. 7 to go. Now I gotta assume. Oh,
big bubble.
I was just gonna say, I gotta assume with him coming on and off the clutch like that, at these speeds, them tires grabbing, that's kind of risky itself right there on sending the car. It's got to be a little more to control.
It is. But do you see who's behind him right now on track? That would be 18 of Chris White, his teammate.
Oh, okay. That's gonna help out. You can really hear the drivers in the cars now. They're not. You can hear the motors not screaming as loud as they were.
Yeah, especially those 3 guys that haven't pit yet. And that's Durham chasing down Novak.
So that's the only motor we're really going to hear screaming is that 217 of Durham. Oh, yeah, he has closed that gap quite quickly.
Yes,
he is now down to a 6-second gap on Leo. This man is on a mission.
Here we go. He's got to get by Novak cleanly here. And he does. Every car that he comes up to and that he's got to pass has the chance to cost him time.
That is true. One slow car could mess up his plan, but as of now, it seems to be working pretty well. He is pushing.
And the teammates are together. Saw Weaver pull down on the side there to let White go, like, come on, man, help me out a little.
I saw that. So that clutch saving did work.
Yeah, because now he's got the draft of his teammate to help out save a little bit more.
5 to go. Let's hope it's enough.
He's still being conservative.
I was going to say, he stayed a little softer in that corner. But his teammate did just come out of a pit a few laps ago. So he's plenty fueled. He's good, ready to roll. That was a good on dash. You could see that. You see when he came back off the clutch there. His car gave him a little. Hey, I don't much like that.
Yeah, and you can tell he's still saving with his teammate pulling him.
Oh yeah, he is very concerned about that fuel level. He knows it's getting down there. Term is down to a 3-second gap.
On Leo, yeah. And Novak is down to 11 on the leader.
He got some playing room between 4 and 5, though.
Whoa, Leo. Whoa. Sitting on this onboard, I kind of felt like the car was sliding out there. Did you feel it?
I would be a liar if I didn't say that I didn't move in the opposite direction.
I was just a passenger, and I felt it.
I could understand Leo pushing hard right now. He knows Durham is creeping up on the back there. But after all the points get settled and figured out, if they stay the same, Durham should be okay being in third.
Correct.
But I don't think he's okay with should. I think he's going to push for a definite.
Oh, yeah. For sure. You know, unless it's going to be too much and cause issues for competitors, I don't think he would do that. But
true, very true, yes. Like I was saying earlier, all these races are very clean. They all seem to be evenly matched.
I don't know about evenly matched, but...
Well, I mean, let's forget about this 25-second gap that Durham just annihilated for a minute.
White flag.
Here it comes. And we were talking that Weaver was on a mission. This is his first win of the year, and he's defending from last year. Oh, a little touch on the teammate. You know, they're just bumping doors saying, hey, thanks for tugging me along, my friend.
Yeah, we can call it that.
He said, go get him. It sounds like he is still saving fuel.
He's still saving on the last lap.
I'm not going to lie. I got a little scared. I thought he might have ran out there. I didn't hear anything for a second.
And his teammates celebrating for him.
Yep. You never want to celebrate too early. There
first
it is.
win of the season. That's got to feel good after the season he's had. Lots of lows this season.
That is race. Nothing like making you excited for next season. Making you want to push harder.
Look at the ticker.
Tell me Durham did it.
He did it.
He came back. Wow. Wow, what a race for them two. What I really want to know is how much fuel these guys got. Is he even going to have enough fuel for a victory celebration?
No, I think Weaver's out. Weaver's out of fuel.
Oh, no. Oh. So he was very low. I guess that answers my question. Extremely low.
Escamilla giving him
give you a little nudge. Yep, straighten you back out here. Looks like Leo's going to try to help too. Oh. Wrong angle, but that's okay. Here's the battle for second.
I think Leo ran out.
Oh, wow. I was going to say he dropped
I think Leo
very
ran
fast.
out.
No. Oh, we'll tell right now.
Leo is out of fuel. There's the line.
Right at the line by a car. Oh, no.
That is...
Oh.
Third place ain't bad, but I bet you he wanted second. Jake Weaver is your winner tonight. Jack Durham making a huge comeback to come in the second. Nick Leo third. John Novak fourth. Juan Escamilla fifth. Keith Schooling came home in sixth. Chris White seventh. Rafael Sakura is in eighth. Dave Fuge ninth. Brian Messer, our early retiree, 10th. And here is the results. Jack Durham is your champion. Congratulations, Jack. Dominating season, really. Multiple wins. I think he had 5 wins for the season. The only repeat winner.
Wow. Well, I mean, he put on a heck of a performance tonight.
He did.
He definitely showed some very, very high level of driving in that one.
He did. He did it all season. He was just... Every week he had a strong car. Has it maybe 2 bad races. I mean, he doesn't make mistakes often, but neither does Leo. And it shows. They were 1 and 2.
Yeah, they both put on it. I mean, and Leo would have still held second. He was there if had just 1 more lap of fuel in that car.
Not even, probably just a tenth. All he needed was a tenth of a gallon to make it.
But I mean, too, he was, with Durham right there on his back, he was pushing hard. He wanted. He knew he had to give it all, so he clearly did.
And that's a fine balance, You gotta maintain the gap and save at the same time. It's not. Leo did good to run out where he ran out. It's
he was a one-stopper, correct?
Yes. Him and Weaver both.
Well, Weaver played his cards very well, very, very well, and I think he got very lucky with his teammate coming in perfectly in time.
I think so too.
That helped out a lot. I mean, unfortunately, he didn't calculate in the old winning circle. So, but either way, whether you get pushed into the winner's circle or you drive in, a winner's circle is a winner's circle.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this season. On behalf of the Other Way, we hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next season. Goodbye.